A Princess Cruises ship at sea, followed by the Princess Cruises logo flying towards us and the Medallion class logo. On-screen text. Maximizing your Medallion class experience. A smiling woman walks along the seawalk. On-screen text. How MedallionNet works. A high-tech image montage includes a man working with touchscreens, one man testing mechanical limbs, a phone app processing a payment, followed by a TV network's control center, a self-driving car, and then a GPS program on a smartphone.
Technological advancements are improving our way of life on almost every dimension. From streaming movies to requesting on-demand transportation to getting real-time directions and finding your friends.
Someone types a text message, takes a photo of their meal, followed by a woman photographing her family on a cruise vacation.
Connectivity-driven technology is now synonymous with life experiences, every day and now on vacation.
On board a ship, a princess guest maps her on-ship directions on a portal screen, followed by a guest connecting to MedallionNet Wi-Fi on their phone, followed by numerous guests enjoying a strong Wi-Fi signal on their devices.
Many similar advancements are available on your cruise ship, including MedallionNet, the best Wi-Fi at sea. MedallionNet delivers land-like speeds so you can stream movies, shows, and sports, as well as make Wi-Fi phone calls and video conference calls like FaceTime. That's all possible in large part thanks to what lies on board.
Sophisticated onboard satellite antenna are followed by a satellite hovering above the Earth, and then multiple animations depicting the complex connectivity between the ship, satellites, and land-based operations.
What flies in the skies above, and the way we fuse all the technology together to ensure your experience is as great as possible. This includes simultaneously accessing multiple satellites in different orbits so that we can, 1, minimize the distance from the ship to the satellite to ensure your connection speed is maximized.
An image of stormy weather, followed by a mountain range.
And 2, minimize the impacts of weather and large geographic features so that your connection is reliable.
On-screen text. Physics 101. The science behind MedallionNet.
Here's a little bit of the physics behind the best Wi-Fi at sea.
On-screen text. Speed equals distance divided by time. An animation uses a car traveling left to right between two markers to illustrate its point, as well as depicting two animated satellites circling the globe, one much closer than the other.
First, the fundamentals. Speed equals distance divided by time. If your destination is 100 miles away and you travel at a rate of 100 miles per hour, you will arrive at your destination 1 hour later. But if you travel at the same speed, 100 miles per hour, and you only need to go a quarter of the distance, or 25 miles, it only takes 1/4 of the time. Likewise, the closer the satellites are to Earth, the less time it takes for the data to travel, because the distance is shorter. This is a key MedallionNet difference. MedallionNet always uses the closest satellites possible to our ship. And just for fun, radio waves travel at the speed of light.
On-screen text. Data speed, 670 million miles per hour. Animation depicts radio waves transmitting around the Earth, followed by animated satellites circling the Earth.
Or 670 million miles per hour. MedallionNet uses mid-Earth orbit satellites, or MEO, that are positioned 8,000 kilometers away, or 4,800 miles above the Earth's surface.
A MEO satellite closer to Earth, and then a follow-up animation showing how fast the satellite connects to a guest's phone on the ship.
At that distance, it only takes 0.2 of a second for your mobile device to communicate from the ship to the satellite. That's fast. It is fast. In fact, it's 3 times faster than traditional GEO satellites.
Animation illustrates a GEO satellite circling the Earth.
Short for geosynchronous, which are in high Earth orbit, 36,000 kilometers or 22,000 miles away. Traditionally, the vast majority of cruise ships have accessed GEO satellites. And while that higher altitude has meant broader coverage, it's also meant slower connection speeds.
A montage of NASA satellite launch footage, black and white from 1963 and modern footage from 2013, with a side-by-side comparison of geostationary orbit satellites, or GEO, and medium Earth orbit or MEO satellites.
Here's another interesting fact. The first GEO satellite, SYNCOM-2, was launched by NASA from Cape Canaveral on July 26, 1963. 50 years later, in 2013,
additional animation illustrates the newer MEO satellites circling the Earth's equator. Animation depicts GEO and MEO satellites. On-screen text, geostationary orbit. On-screen text, medium Earth orbit.
SES Networks created the first MEO satellites, serving cruise ships, and now just 6 years later, there are 20 MEO satellites surrounding the equator that see our Medallion-class ships when they are south of 50 degrees latitude, which aligns with destinations like London and Vancouver, and which corresponds to approximately 80% of Earth's surface.
From far away, we fly into a Princess Cruises ship at sea, followed by animation of Earth rotating as major world cities are connected by technology.
However, this is a cruise ship, and cruise guests love to travel to the ends of the Earth. So what about the other 20%? GEO satellites actually still reign supreme when enabling connectivity in the polar regions. This is because GEO is not impacted by rain and weather.
A Princess Cruises ship sails through Glacier Bay, followed by Alaskan mountain ranges, a man standing on rocks at low tide, and Princess ships docked in Caribbean harbors. On-screen text. Fun fact: Alaska is the largest temperate rainforest region in the world.
Whereas there's nothing more stunning than the spectacular beauty of the summer months in the northern latitudes, the weather is more dynamic there than in the perpetually sunny Caribbean and Mediterranean.
Onboard satellite antenna are followed by animations of a princess ship at sea, a satellite orbiting Earth, a family taking selfies on a shore excursion, and passengers making video calls.
So onboard Princess Cruises ships that feature MedallionNet, we leverage MEO and GEO satellites to keep you connected to the things you love most, and seamlessly shift to GEO when in the north. Thanks, GEO. In these tougher conditions, we're glad you're there.
A ship is docked in Alaska, followed by guests using Wi-Fi on board, a time-lapse of weather, and Alaska mountain ranges.
Yes, pages will take a second longer to load, but they will load in any weather condition. So let's switch from meteorology to geology.
Princess ships are shown in Alaska along with mountain ranges, fjords, and glaciers, followed by animation of a satellite beaming signals down to Earth.
In northern latitudes, the ships themselves are dwarfed by the massive geographic features you come to see, like mountains, glaciers, and fjords. While gorgeous, these impressive wonders really mess with satellite reception.
A stateroom TV loses its signal, followed by onboard satellite systems and a princess ship at sea.
Whether MEO satellites or GEO satellites, the satellite beams cannot pass through physical geographic features. So with MedallionNet, we do everything possible to ensure the satellite can see the ship, including adding a second GEO satellite into our model.
Animation of a satellite orbiting Earth, followed by bridge personnel looking at satellite screens, ships sailing in Alaska, a guest using video calling, and images of the Wake Show and MedallionNet maps on a stateroom TV.
As well as focusing on ship positioning to ensure we get the best look angles possible. When it's impossible to avoid geographical feature interruptions and MedallionNet service becomes interrupted, we will do our best to advise you prior to the outage. There's a map on Ocean View TV that outlines known interruption areas, and if an outage does occur,
aerial views of glaciers followed by guests on board and ashore enjoying MedallionNet service, and animations of a satellite orbiting Earth sending and receiving data.
We hope you'll grab your camera and take a few photos of the impressive natural wonder that's likely causing the interruption. To summarize, when this ship sails in places like the Caribbean or Mediterranean, we link to MEO satellites, and your device is able to link much faster because the signal travels over a shorter distance. When we sail closer to the poles, we tap GEO satellites, which means it will take just a bit longer for the data to flow.
A princess ship sails in Glacier Bay, followed by a woman enjoying stateroom TV, animations of GEO and MEO satellites interacting with a ship, animations of guests enjoying Wi-Fi on board, and animations illustrating connections between the ship and cities.
When we will have geographic feature interruption, we will let you know. Our passion in sharing the secrets behind the best Wi-Fi at sea is for you to know that we will do everything possible to provide you with the best connectivity experience possible. We appreciate you sailing with us, and with more satellite capacity than many of the cities you'll be visiting along the way, and more antennas than any other cruise ships in the world, looking at the most satellites possible, we know that you're going to love MedallionNet.
Medallion class logo followed by the Princess Cruises logo.